Terry's along with us. Terry is in Asheville where they have winter storm warnings and everything else. I understand something's happening. What's going on with the weather where you are, Terry?
It was raining a while ago, and then about 4:30, it changed from rain to snow, and it's snowing. Our ground's covered now, and they've up here they're having remote learning today in both Asheville City and Buncombe County Schools.
That's one thing that a pandemic has done. No more snow days. It's all virtual now.
It's sort of cold, but I'm out here in short sleeves, but I'm crazy.
You're just having fun, Terry.
Yeah, and I got to get my guys up here pretty soon. I work in a group home, but I love it. I work third shift. I get to stay up all night and listen to his radio.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So how was Christmas and New Year's for you? It's Rob and Liz, 800-447-7234. Let's check around the room like with Ninja, who went to Hawaii for a little bit.
Wow.
How nice is that?
Oh, yes. It was, nice and warm, but no humidity. It was absolutely perfect.
That's Hawaii, huh? Never been.
No, and she's a curly hair girl like myself, and so no humidity is like, yes.
Yeah, no split ends, huh? So what'd you do over Christmas?
So hung out with the family my last Christmas before I tie the knot.
That's right, because she's getting married. Is it April?
Yes.
Yeah, Hawaii,
it's
right?
Year. Not Hawaii.
No, around here.
But decorated Christmas cookies and spent family time.
So much fun.
Yes.
That's good. What'd you do, Jake?
Man, I like to keep it local. I just hung out at my house and my grandma's house. And
He didn't go to Hawaii, is what he's saying.
no, we didn't.
You hung with Gigi.
We sure did.
Yeah.
We went to church. Kept it simple. Candlelight service. Very beautiful time of the year.
That's nice. How about you, Liz?
So Christmas was awesome. Had the family over, and we did the sugar cookie thing too. We always do a Christmas Eve kind of get together. But my husband gifted me with a trip, and we went to the coast. We spent a couple of days at the beach, which was really good. Got stuck in the sand in our truck.
What do you? Oh, you drove on the beach. Were you at the Outer Banks?
Yes. Well, up that way. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But you can drive on this one beach, and he wanted to do it so badly, and so he's got, 4-wheel drive.
Evidently, a tow truck visited you guys.
He's like, listen to what Joey said. He's like, we need some more weight in the back. Can you get in the back? I was like, what did you just say to me?
Joey.
Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah? I'm sure you got it out.
Yeah, he did not panic. I panicked.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Dr. Menon is a teacher at the City College of New York, and one morning he goes to school and he's getting ready for class, and he decides, well, I'm going to go check my mail first. So he goes in, checks his mail. He's got a box, opens it up. There's 50s, there's 100s, there's 20s, there's all kinds of money.
Quite the Christmas gift.
I know, but it wasn't like a check. Like, it was literal cash, just kind of wrapped up. It was $180,000.
He's a special guy.
But just sent through the post office. I mean, I have a problem sending $5, in a birthday card. But here's the thing. He opens it up and there is a letter, and it's talking about, it's a pretty long letter, but basically it says, I want to make sure that other students get the same opportunities that I've had. Deserving children need to be able to have a quality education regardless of their finances. And so Dr. Menon, who is an immigrant from India, he said this is going to be able to fully fund a couple of kids every decade, get them completely through school with this. No idea who sent the money.
So this is out of college?
Yeah, it's anonymous.
Nice.
Anonymous box o' cash. And it's going to put several kids through school. I'm sure they put it into a fund that gets interest and it's going to grow.
That's a lot of trust in this guy.
It is
He could have kept the whole thing to himself and just kept his mouth shut, but he didn't. And he's fulfilling what that person wanted to do with the money. That was help students get through college.
Yeah, it even had like a return address that was kind of bogus. Like, they tracked it down, tried to say thank you, and the person that was on the return address is like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't know, but hey, if you want to give me some cash, come on.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
This woman's kitchen caught on fire. She's elderly. The fumes cause her to pass out. The fire department comes, and they can't even get in the house. It's crazy. She has a little chihuahua. The chihuahua walks over to the door and said, "Hey, I'll help you out, guys," and opened up the door for him.
I don't know how this dog did this. Maybe up on, I can see the arm of the couch, and maybe he takes a flying leap and somehow turns it. I have no idea.
Evidently knew how to open the door,
He
but
did.
that dog saved that lady's life, his owner's life. It's amazing.
Yeah, and without destroying the door to the home, which they would have done to get into her, I'm sure. But yeah, the dog was able to open the door for the firefighters. They got in, got the lady, and all is good. She did have some damage to the house, unfortunately.
Oh, of course,
but
yeah.
her life is intact.
Because of her dog.
Thanks to Chi-Chi.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Sebi's 18 years old, and he has some physical and learning difficulties. And during the pandemic, he had a couple of friends he couldn't connect with because his friends, who were quite like him, had no technology. And so he's like, I don't want them to be lonely. So he talks to his mom and says, "Mom, do you mind if I just give my iPad to my friend?" She goes, "Well, there's a lot of kids that are going through that same thing." He's like, "Okay, go big or go home." And so what he did was acts of kindness where he would water people's plants, fill bird feeders, take out trash cans. He ran like 2-mile runs from time to time to raise some support. All in all, he's raised over $53,000. And he's been able to give about 2,000 pieces of technology to kids.
Wow.
So they don't have to be lonely when they have to be at home doing the home learning and stuff like that.
And he walked through it himself, so he knows what not being able to connect. And that, that's been a real struggle for a lot of teenagers, a lot of kids during the pandemic, is not being able to connect with their friends. Kids need, just like everybody else, socialization. So Sebi's awesome.
Isn't he, though?
Yeah.
When he was doing some running, it was like Forrest Gump. People were joining him. It was pretty cool. Good. Sebi, thanks for doing what you did.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Yeah, we are remodeling one of the rooms in our home right now. It's a bedroom. So we did some painting and some things like that.
You going through these trends that people are talking about?
Yeah, there's one for the bathroom that I'm just not getting behind. And
What?
I understand it's called a wet room. So maybe you think of a mud room or something like that. This is a wet room. It's a bathroom that has no tub, really. It's just a shower. So it's primarily for people that are elderly, or they have maybe some other issues where they can't really step in and out of a tub or
Is
in and
the
out of a
whole
shower.
room is there a drain in the middle
Yes.
right by the toilet
Yes.
or something?
Yes. And so it's like an open floor plan for your bathroom.
Okay.
To me, I've been in hotel rooms that have this kind of a bathroom, and it's more for like a handicapped, disabled situation.
Kind of like privacy. And I don't like the glass stuff.
Oh,
I
really?
want like a shower curtain or something, you know?
I like the walk-in shower and
I'm
the
not-
glass.
no.
But I
guess
don't
I'm
like.
old school.
Well, in the wet room, to me, the warmth of the shower is not there. It's very cold in one of those rooms.
Okay.
So if you need it because, you can't step into a bathtub,
Well,
that kind of thing.
makes sense.
Absolutely. Or if you have a lot of pets
I
and
got
you
a
want to be
question.
able to do what?
Since you're like into the renovation and stuff, I have a
Okay.
question about the
Okay.
restroom.
Oh, no.
You know the one where you go into the restroom
Mm-hmm.
and then there's the door and then you can close the door and it's just the toilet in that
Yes,
door.
we have
Why
one
do
of
they
those.
call it a water closet? Why? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't either. It's like, do I go in there for water? I hope not.
No, right?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I don't know if you know anybody who stutters, but you know how frustrating it can be for people. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio for the people who are going through that. And there was a time long ago where people are like, you know what? You can overcome this. This is, it's just in your mind.
Right. You're afraid you're going to stutter. And so you're kind of setting yourself up for the fall. And people who dealt with stuttering, speech impediments, things like that, that's got to hurt your self-confidence so I'm the one that's causing this.
Now they've done some research and they said, you know what? This is in the DNA. It's genetic now. So they've actually been able to prove this, which those who stutter are like, oh, good. I got some hope here.
Right.
You know?
It's not me. I'm not the one that's causing this. And so I think it takes some pressure off. And maybe the researchers can now, because they can hyper-focus on maybe a way, I don't know how, because I'm not a researcher, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, maybe they can find some ways to overcome. But at least they're taking that out of someone's head that has a stutter, that it's not their fault.
Yeah. I mean, there's things that I have that's wrong with me. And I always think, well, it's me. This is my thing. You know, I'm causing this. I'm the one who's, but no, there's some things that, I'm colorblind.
Right. It's just in your DNA. There's nothing you or your parents could have done about it. It's just something that is there.
And so some people are like finding some hope through this.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
For me, last year at this time, I was second month into my 4-month homebound health journey that I was going through, tubes and all that stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about that. So this was a lot different.
Oh, a lot of cool memories that came out of this year for me. I don't know how memorable that some of your Christmas or your holiday was, but every moment for me was like, it's so different from last year. So different from last year.
Yeah.
Had the kids over, had a good Christmas. One thing that happened was right before Christmas, we had a big wind that came through my neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a trellis in the back that has a vine on it. Well, the wind knocked it down. I mean, snapped it. It went right at the base at the ground. And so I texted a picture to my neighbor across the street, Tom, and Tom says, hey, well, let's just fix it. I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's broken from the bottom. He goes, he told us what we needed to get and fixed it. So while my son Spencer and Amy were in Florida last week visiting Jackson and everybody, Tom, I, and Eli are fixing this thing. Well, mainly Tom. But
Tom is amazing. He is the best neighbor.
You know what he did was it yesterday? Yesterday. He was pressure washing the other neighbor's house. Literally pressure washing the other neighbor's house.
Okay,
this
are there
guy
homes
is like
for sale in your neighborhood?
the guy. When they do come up for sale, they're gone.
Well, of course,
they must know about Tom.
I was going to say they all know about.
What was memorable for you?
So my husband gave me a trip to the beach for Christmas, and he had talked about this on the way up. He wanted to drive on one of the beaches where you're allowed to drive if you have 4-wheel drive.
Oh, so you drove to the Outer Banks.
Yes,
so it's just not one of the beaches around here.
No. So to the Outer Banks, and we get on the beach, and I'm a little nervous about this kind of thing because I'm thinking we're gonna get stuck.
And you did.
And we did. He did not freak out. Like, he was laughing. He thought it was a lot of fun. We're spinning the wheels, the sand's going everywhere. Finally, he's like, we need more weight in the back. Why don't you get in the back? What?
Wait. He wasn't thinking when he said that.
He wasn't.
He did not mean anything by that. I
Honestly,
promise you, he did not mean anything by that.
I don't weigh 100 pounds, but if I did weigh 100 pounds, I think that would have been enough to kind of weigh it down a little bit. So he wasn't being rude. It's just the way I took it.
So you weigh 85 pounds?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
The guy best known for the Terminator movies, Arnold, he did something over the Christmas season. Yeah. He helped out these Army veterans and gave them 25 tiny homes. Literally, he paid $250,000 to provide, not just Army, but veterans in general, to have a place to live.
Actually, that sounds like a pretty good deal, doesn't it? $250,000 for how many homes?
25.
Wow.
Tiny homes.
That's pretty cool that he did that. I'm sure the plans had been in place for a little while, but be able to make somebody's Christmas like that?
Well, one of the vets said, this is the best Christmas I've ever had in my life.
I can absolutely imagine that. Yeah.
Not having a place to go, and then he steps in and says, I'm going to help out, and does $250,000. So that much dough got 25 tiny homes. And so now you have 25 vets and whoever else, lives with them. I don't know if there's kids and spouses and all that other stuff, but wow, that's kind of amazing. That's good. And during the Christmas season, what a great Christmas gift to get, huh?
Absolutely.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
The health minister, Queensland health minister, was doing a press conference. And
Australia, right?
Yes.
Australia, okay.
And she was trying to be very serious about the whole thing. And while she's talking, while she's leading this press conference, she spies a huntsman spider.
That's one of those big ones. They're like a tarantula size, right?
it is. I think the body of this thing is like 1.5 inches, just the body, not including the legs. So this is a thick spider. And she sees it out of the corner of her eye because it's on the microphone.
Oh, no way. Really?
Yeah. And then,
that's awesome.
And then one of her, like the guys that are also leading the press conference with her comes up, tries to shoo it away. It drops to the ground, and then it gets on her leg. Now, I got to give this to this girl because this woman continued the press conference. Now, she was saying, like, I don't like these kinds of spiders, but I need to keep going with the press conference. We got to get this done. But if it gets near my face, somebody better tell me.
She said that?
Basically.
Oh, that's great.
I'm paraphrasing because, but she was a little more proper than that. So this thing starts crawling up her leg. Now, it's as wide as my hand, it looks like.
Okay.
The body, again, about 1.5 inches. And finally, they shoo it away. But this is all like on video, and she is
it's a press conference. So the news cameras in Australia are everywhere on this press conference.
Yes, and there's a guy doing sign language, and he's laughing, and he's trying to help her out, and all these people. But I'm going to give it to her because she got through it. I would have run away screaming.
She would have.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Well, there is some good news in Oklahoma. There's a little boy. He's 11 or 12 years old. He's in the 6th grade. He gets up one morning, goes to school, normal day, normal kid stuff. And one of his classmates starts choking. He does not sit there and just watch it happen, in shock. He jumps right in and he saves his life.
Yeah, does the Heimlich maneuver or the abdominal thrust, what they call it now. It was a bottle cap.
Yeah.
He was his classmate was choking on a bottle cap. Poof, goes across the room.
Yeah.
Dings off the wall.
And he's like,
doing
dun,
great.
dun.
And then Davion is his name. Davion's walking home. And then there's a lady who needs help from a fire. And so he goes in and rescues her out of his house. He's just your, average, everyday, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Superhero in the neighborhood.
He deserves a cape. He deserves a cape.
Well, he
Because
got
he's awesome.
recognized by the sheriff's department.
And, which is pretty cool. It's I've never saved someone's life that I can think of. And to do it twice in one day?
Yeah, right?
Wow, dude.
Yeah, now that school's back in session, he's going to be back at saving lives again.